We all know children are our future, and strengthening their minds the right way is important, not just for them, but for us too. Joining us now is Steve Harmon, leader and chairman of the mentoring division for the 100 Black Men of Metropolitan St. Louis. Steve, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell me what your role is going to be in the upcoming Empowerment Summit.
Well, with the Empowerment Summit this Saturday, my main focal point and role will be the law enforcement recruiting effort. I'm also a supportive role for the first segment, which is the open dialogue discussion between law enforcement and the youth in the community.
Okay, great. Now tell me how this all came about, because I understand Jock says that you're the man, so therefore you must have really been very instrumental in putting all of this together.
Yeah, like Jock said, this is a collaborative between several organizations, 100 Black Men, Mound City Bar, the ACLU. Of those three organizations, I'm a member of all three. In addition, we also have the Urban League Young Professionals, the Urban League, and Teach. So when the concept came about, we wanted to partner with other organizations that had a similar interest, although they have different lanes, so to speak. Our primary lane is mentoring. So we wanted to bring the expertise of these organizations together, and from there, it just evolved into what you see today as the Community Empowerment Summit.
And Steve, you're wearing a lot of hats here. But tell me, how do you bridge the gap between young people who distrust authorities and police who have to patrol neighborhoods?
Well, we don't really have the answer to that yet. We're working towards it, and I think one way or one beginning part for that is this open dialogue discussion that we're going to have. I think that the law enforcement needs to hear from the young people who they police, as well as the young people who are policed by the law enforcement. I think an exchange of ideas, an exchange of concerns and issues need to be aired out openly to where both sides can hear from one another and try and move forward and move past that.
Jock, how did you guys come up with the people who are going to participate in this summit?
Well, just looking at the areas of obviously Ferguson, St. Louis County, St. Louis City, you know, from a law enforcement perspective, as well as Florissant, making sure that they were involved.
And the young people, too.
And the young people, right. There was we specifically targeted young people because we wanted to make sure that their voices were heard. They are the ones that are out there on the front lines.
So where'd you find them?
Well, ironically, one person kind of just stopped by our office. And he goes by the name of Spud.
Okay.
He's in the music industry, and he's been heavily engaged.
City Spud?
City Spud. Not City Spud, from the Lunatics, another guy named Spud with VIP Records.
Okay.
Always been involved in the streets, if you will.
Okay.
And he's been heavily engaged with the young people since day one with this unrest in Ferguson ever since the Mike Brown shooting. And so we wanted to make sure that he and some of the other young people that were involved were identified and given a platform to sit and air or communicate their concerns.
These ideas are great, but the whole point is implementing them. The whole point is putting those into action out in the public. How do you do that?
Well, what we plan to do is once we have this session, you know, we'll have notes that we'll provide to not only the Department of Justice, who will be on hand, but to the law enforcement officials who will be on hand. We have a commitment from several police chiefs who have already been involved in the civil unrest in Ferguson. Ferguson Police Chief Tom Jackson will be present. St. Louis County Police Chief John Belmar will be present. Missouri Highway Patrol Captain Ron Johnson will be present, along with St. Louis City Police Chief Sam Dotson. Also, we're going to have attendance by the FBI officials from the St. Louis area. So once we have this event and we have this session, they'll all be on hand firsthand to hear what the youth are saying, and we can follow up with them in the weeks to come to see how we could implement some of the ideas that are going to be voiced at this event.
Fantastic. Jock, again, when and where will the summit take place?
It's on Saturday, Saturday, September the 27th.
September, we know what you mean.
It's going to open at 9:30
Is that it,
and go to 4 o'clock.
Yes.
That's correct. And so at Greater St. Mark Church, located at 9950 Glen Owen Drive, and we want to thank Pastor Tommy Pearson for opening up his doors once again to allow us to host it.
Steve, thank you, and Jock, it's a pleasure always. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. And for more information for the 100 Black Men's Community Empowerment Summit, visit their website at 100blackmenstl.com. You can also email or call them directly. The telephone number is 314-367-7778. Do I have that right?
That's correct.
Okay, because I'm seeing. We'll be right back with Barbara O'Malley from Webster University with news on how Webster University is celebrating its 100 years of service. That coming up.